T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to Kopish.
Shout out to Kopish, guys.
All the good work.
The two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that guy. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kopish.
Good morning, lovely people. Hope you're well. Welcome back to the morning meetup show. My name is Callum, representing Team Kopish. As always, big up to Matt and Drift. And as always, when we get behind the mic, please make sure you subscribe, comment, and like. Big game tonight, people. Newcastle versus Liverpool at St James's Park. Can Liverpool potentially extend their lead at the top, or can they just maintain that 9-point gap with a win at St James's Park? We will be live for that game. You know where we'll be, guys. We'll be on Big Up. If you haven't signed up to Big Up, please do that. You don't even have to sign up if you don't want to. You can just watch anonymously. But as anyone who's in the Big Up community, shout out to Big Yards 88, will tell you it is so interactive. It's so fun. And we really do have a vibe over there. And you have a little bit more freedom than what you do on YouTube for watch-alongs. So please make sure you join us for that. Kickoffs at 7:30. We'll go live around 7:20 for that tonight. Liverpool Football Club being linked to football players in December. Who'd have thought it? Silly season is less than a month away. And January could be very pivotal, not just for us, but for a few other clubs. Shout out to Jamie Phillips. Speaking to Jamie yesterday, he doesn't think many teams will do much business in January. I am of a different belief. I think teams will do business, but my only concern is whether Liverpool do business or not. And we've been linked with some players today. So I'll start with the first one, Nico Wiliams. The Spanish international winger was one of the best players at the Euro 2024 tournament. Obviously scored the winning goal for Spain to win against England in the final and capture that trophy. And was just excellent throughout. He's a player that a lot of people rate. Barcelona seemed like they were close to getting him last summer before he decided to stay at Athletic Club. However, he's now been linked with a move to Liverpool. And this is from Ornstein, who basically said the 22-year-old is highly admired by Liverpool Football Club. So far this season, he's played 13 games in the league. He's got 1 goal, 3 assists. Not great numbers. I would have probably expected more. And again, I'm not sitting there saying the Club Athletic are a phenomenal team and they're a chance-creating monster of a team. But for someone who's as talented and as good as him, I'd expect those numbers to be a bit better. Hey, big up our brother Halftime Hooks in the building. Guys, subscribe to Halftime Hooks' channel. One of the best Arsenal fan content creators out there and just a very, very good guy as well. But yeah, back to Nico Wiliams. Again, very good player. I don't know if is he on the cusp of potentially being a world-class player, or is he just one of those players that's always going to fall short? Because I look at his numbers and I think your talent should be giving you more numbers. And again, it's not just about numbers. It's not. But numbers are a big part of the game now. We can't just ignore it and just constantly focus on the eye test, because there's been players, and there currently are players who brilliant on the eye, but don't get the numbers. Numbers and goals win you games. Goals win you trophies ultimately. Would I be upset if we signed Nico Wiliams? Absolutely not. Would he cook at Liverpool under Slot? I believe so. I just feel as though we need to see more from him. And again, I might be wrong on this. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys I watch La Liga religiously. I would usually watch the highlights. Man like Matt, obviously on his channel, the Matt One Show, will speak mainly about La Liga because he'll cover a lot of the La Liga games. Yeah, I don't know. And again, what would the price be? I know his release clause was about 43 million in the summer, but I'm pretty sure he signed a new contract. So I'm guessing that would have changed now. What would the price be? And also, does that have a bearing on our situation? Obviously, Luis Diaz hasn't been given a new contract yet. His contract is not in jeopardy, but his dad's been very vocal about it. We know about him wanting to play for Barcelona in the future, potentially. Barcelona are going through a resurgence at the moment. Could that potentially be something? Sorry, guys. I've got man flu, as we call it, and I'm still struggling a little bit. So sorry if I sound a bit bunged up. Yeah, I think Luis Diaz, ultimately, his dream is to play for Barcelona. And again, I say it straight. I have no issue whatsoever with someone accomplishing their dreams. As long as you go about it in the right way, as long as you're not disrespectful to Liverpool or anything like that. If you want to play for Barcelona, if it's always been your dream to play for Barcelona, then you go for it, man. All the best to you. I wish you nothing but the best. Even if it means you leave Liverpool, and I think you're having a great season so far. I ask you guys, if Diaz were to leave and we went out for another left winger, would Nico Wiliams be your first choice? I don't know if you'd be mine. Look, again, I'll be straight with you. I'd be very happy with him coming to Liverpool, but I don't know if he'd be my first choice. That's all I'm saying. Another winger who's been linked with us, and I'm going to go in a slightly different order to the title, and that is someone who's linked with us in the summer. Someone who really split the fan base, and that is Anthony Gordon. And again, so far this season, he's played 12 games, 2 goals, 1 assist. He has been chopped and changed about. Sometimes he's playing on the right, sometimes he's playing on the left. But this news has been from Craig Hope saying that Liverpool is still admiring him and still in for him, still like the player. From what I thought he'd signed a new contract. It was close to signing a new contract. Again, I'll make it clear. I rate Anthony Gordon as a footballer. I don't like him as a footballer because he always seems to do shoddy and shady stuff to us. But I think he's a very good footballer, just not for me. He's not the type of player that I want at Liverpool. Again, I know a lot of the fan base were really high on him in the summer. I don't know if that was us just, or should I say people who really rate him. I don't know if that was them rating him because he was linked with us or just them genuinely rating him. He wasn't the guy for me. He's still not the guy for me. I think he's a good player, but I do think Newcastle's his level, if I'm going to be honest. I don't think coming to Liverpool, we're going to see anything crazy out of him or anything that makes us go, wow. I don't know. But again, I asked the question, why are we being linked with left wingers? Shout out to Bafana, who say, where's the links to the right wingers? Well, technically, we've got Chiesa. Technically, we don't need any attackers if you're looking at numbers, unless someone goes. For the left wing, we've got Diaz and Gakpo. Centre forward, you've got Nunez and Jota. And right wing, you've got Salah and Chiesa. Obviously, Chiesa and Jota are unavailable at the moment, which obviously is putting a bit of strain on the other attackers. But ultimately, we have 6. So I don't think we have to add any unless we're looking to actively upgrade on position. So let's say we're looking to upgrade on left wing. For me, going for Anthony Gordon is not an upgrade on Diaz or Gakpo. Going for a Kvaratskhelia, that's an upgrade. When you're looking at right wing, you can't upgrade on Salah. You could upgrade on Chiesa maybe. But we just signed Chiesa. You've not had a chance yet. Then obviously centre forward. Centre forward, I think, is the main issue area. Because I don't think Nunez is kicked on as much as he should have. And Jota's injury issues are becoming a hindrance. So I think centre forward is the situation where we really look at and go, what are we doing here? So it remains to be seen. One position that's been spoken about, especially when we were linked to Ryan Shirky, and that is the number 10 position. So Boslai hasn't had a great season, but he did have a fantastic game against Man City. Jones has played there in the number 10, but you wouldn't say he's been a conventional number 10. He's been more of an 8/10. But we have been linked with Xavi Simmons. And again, this is from Ornstein, who come out and said that if Xavi Simmons were to move, his probable destination would be Liverpool. Now, Xavi Simmons is a very good footballer, technically excellent, got an eye for goal, doing really well. In 7 Bundesliga games, he's got 2 goals, 2 assists. So he's got 4 GA in 7 games, which is nothing to bulk at. And if I'm not mistaken, Leipzig's formation is then playing 2 10s, so either side of the striker. He's very good, a very good player. But I ask, do we need a 10 right now? Because I'm looking at priorities. Don't get me wrong. Can we upgrade on Szoboszlai? Yeah, we can. And I'm saying this as a Szoboszlai fan. I'm saying this as someone who did a members video about Szoboszlai signing for Liverpool before he was even linked. I'm a Szoboszlai guy, but I can also be objective about it and say, yeah, we could upgrade on Szoboszlai. I want the best in class at Liverpool Football Club. I look at players like Ødegaard and when De Bruyne was in his prime, and I say those are the sort of players I want in the number 10. I don't think Szoboszlai is going to reach those levels, but he can do it in a different way. I think he could potentially be more of a goal threat than Ødegaard, but he's just not in it. He's not putting it together at the moment. But I don't know if Xavi Simmons is the first person I'd go for either. Do I think we could get a tune out of him? Absolutely. Do I think the player is good? Absolutely. But I do think there's other players better than him. So again, I see this as a bit of a non-starter story. I don't see anything happening with this one. Again, another player who can cover the left wing, but we don't need that either. So it's a bit of a weird one why we've been linked with these sort of players, because they all kind of do the same or similar things, but they're all doing what we already have already. Like, it's weird. And again, I think we're just being linked with these players because, look, if you're a journalist and you want to get your clicks up, if you want to get your engagement up, you know what to do. Link players to Liverpool. And that's exactly what's happening at the moment. You look at Anthony Gordon, for example. He doesn't seem unhappy at Newcastle. We don't seem unhappy with Diaz and Gakpo. I know we went in for him in the summer, which again was still a weird one for me, especially considering Joe Gomez would have been a part of the deal. And thank God every day that didn't go through. But it feels as though every season we're linked with left wingers or players who can play 10 or left wing. I don't get it. I really don't get it. I think the midfield is the most important one right now, and defense. I know we are linked with Jiro Hato. I'd be over the moon with that signing, if I'm going to be honest, because he covers left back and left centre back. I think that would be a fantastic signing. I don't think that would break the bank either. I reckon we could probably get Hato for around 30 mil. I think that's a great price in today's market. I genuinely think we could get him for around 30 mil. I think that would be fantastic business. And that would allow us to look at the situation and see, do we want him playing at left back or do we want him to be Virgil's cover? Does he do a bit of both? I think that would be fantastic, honestly. For 30 mil, I don't think you can really go wrong with that deal. But another midfielder who's been linked with us, obviously alongside the Zubimendi shouts, and that is Samuele Ricci. So he's the player that's actually been linked with Man City quite heavily. And it seemed as though for about a month, he was the nailed-on understudy / replacement for Rodri, who's currently out injured with an ACL injury. However, things have gone really quiet, and the midfielder who plays in Italy is now been linked with a move to Liverpool. Again, very good player, really techie. I don't know if I see him as a deep-lying midfielder, though. I feel as though he's a bit more of a box-to-box midfielder. And again, nothing wrong with that. But again, I look at his profile and I think we don't need another box-to-box midfielder. We need someone who can dictate play. We need someone who can sit deep and intercept passes and be a dual monster. Something what Gravenberch is doing. Gravenberch has been a dual monster. He's dictating plays. Passing's good. Half term, we know he's crazy. We need another player who can either replicate that or complement Gravenberch in doing what he's doing. Were that to happen, were we to go and get Samuele Ricci, I don't know where he fits in. So again, I think this is a bit of lazy journalism where we've just been linked to a very good footballer, but a footballer we don't necessarily need. Again, you look at someone like a Zubimendi, and I shout out to Lakers who are speaking to, and me and just shout out to Drift in the comments as well. Big up Drifty. Guys, subscribe to Drifty TV, people. Me and Drift have spoken about this at length. When it comes to footballing talent and ability, Zubimendi would be perfect for Liverpool Football Club. In fact, if we sign Zubimendi tomorrow, I would not worry about how he would adapt to life in the Premier League or on the football pitch. But for me, everything would be about what happens when he's not on the football pitch. He would be coming to a new country, and let's be real, he doesn't really want to leave Spain. He doesn't want to leave Sociedad, let alone Spain. But be coming to a new country. We have no other Spanish players. Even though we have players who can speak Spanish, we have no other Spanish players. New culture, new climate, new everything. Plus midway through the season as well. Shout out to Jamie for the Jamie raid. Shout out to Jamie, shout out to Jamie, shout out to Jamie, legend. I don't want to take that risk on a player. I don't want to, and I'm saying this, and again, you guys know how much I rate Zubimendi, so I'm not just being flippant here. But again, I'm being objective and looking at what I think could be best for Liverpool. I don't want to take a risk on a player who is not sure about it. Plus, I don't think we'd be the only club in for him in the summer. I think in January, I think looking at the continent, looking at the climate of other teams, I think Man City are missing Zubimendi massively, a Zubimendi player. So are Real Madrid. I think Rodri's been quite candid in speaking about his links to Real Madrid as well. Could Rodri be looking to move to Real Madrid in the summer once his injuries healed up and once he's back playing football? Possibly. Who better to go and get as a replacement than maybe Zubimendi? I think Zubimendi makes all the sense in the world for Man City. Plus, you've got Pep there as well. Then you've got Real Madrid, where he wouldn't have to leave the country. He wouldn't be too far away from his home. And be playing for the biggest club in the world. Right now, if I'm Zubimendi, Real Madrid is looking like the most appealing choice, and then it's a toss-up between Liverpool and Man City, but he may potentially lean a little bit more to Man City, get bigger wages there as well, probably. I know we've done all the groundwork, but I don't even know if we'll go back in for him. I think the club have left and felt a bit embarrassed by the whole saga. I don't know if they'll look at that and think, well, we're not going to go back in for him if that happens, because we don't want to take that risk again. And again, as a footballer, Zubimendi's excellent. Excellent. Shout out to Reform 3D, says, why would Zubi want to play in the Championship? Look, as much as I laugh about it and I hope it happens, Team 115, they're not going to get relegated. They're just not. They're just not. And little M-Force, I promise you, I still rate Zubimendi. I don't feel I'm being negative. I feel as though it's too much of a risk to take at this stage. I don't think, obviously every sign is a risk, but there's calculated risks and there's risks where you look at and go, should I really be doing this? Should I really be doing this? Because he doesn't seem like he wants to leave where he is. And if he leaves now, it'd almost be an emotional decision as opposed to a footballing decision. I see him going Real Madrid personally. And if not Real Madrid, I think Man City push very hard for him in January. Hope Man City don't get him, because it makes them a better team with him there. But I don't see it happening, man. Don't see it happening. I think he fits in at Real Madrid really well. I know people will say, well, what about Zubimendi? What about Camavinga? Modric is still there. I mean, Kroos is left. Valverde's still there as well. Out of those four players, they haven't got a dictator, though. They need a dictator. Since they've lost Toni Kroos, they haven't had a dictator. Shout out to Marcel, who says, besides Zubimendi, who do you want, Cal? Pause. And don't say Stiller. Bro, you know who I'm going to say. I do want Stiller. If it's not Stiller, then I'd love us to get Zubimendi, but there's no way we get Zubimendi in January. Not with all the injuries that Real Madrid have. He'll have to play centre-back as well, if I'm not mistaken, for the rest of this season. Shout out to Football Talk podcast as well, guys. Subscribe to them. It's for me, it would be Stiller. It would be Stiller. Stiller, I think, would be so good for Liverpool. For him and Graham and Birchall, him and McAllister, it'd be so good, man. It'd be so good. I know, obviously, shout out to Big Yards and Anila saying Hugo Larsson. Yeah, Hugo Larsson looks like another good player. Obviously, Samuele Ricci, who we've spoken about. Morten Frendrup of Genoa, I believe he plays for, has been linked as well. He's good. Aija Stiller plays for Stuttgart. So he plays for Endo's old team, which again, I think there's something in that as well, because you could potentially go, look, we'd like Stiller and we'll give you Endo in exchange along with money. I think there's something there because at least they get a replacement who's a well-loved and well-known player that used to play for them, and they get money on top of it as well. So then it's not like they'd be desperate for a replacement straight away because they'd have that buffer with Endo being there. Plus, I wouldn't be surprised if Endo would be happy moving back to Stuttgart. He was at home there and he was loved and adored, and from what it seems like, he really enjoyed his time there as well before Liverpool came knocking. The problem for me is I don't know if Liverpool do anything in January. And if we don't, I feel as though we're taking a big risk or a bigger risk than we need to. Marcel, no Hodgman, have you sold your stocks? No, Hodgman, I'd love to bring to the club as well. I just don't see us going for any sporting players because I think Ruben Amorim's probably going to have first dibs on those players. But yeah, look, the DM market isn't flooded with big names, but there are some very good players out there. And again, I trust Slot and I trust what's going on at the club right now. And I don't know if we necessarily, and look, I'm going to sound like a hypocrite because I'm saying I want Kvaratskhelia. I'm not saying we have to sign the big name players for it to work. I'm saying I think it would give us a better chance if we sign the big name players for it to work. But someone like a Silla, who's not a big name, a Holman, one of these players, I look at and I go, yeah, I see that player working on the slot and I see that player improving Liverpool Football Club. T1 Caicedo, okay, cool. So I say, every single day I'm streaming, someone mentions Caicedo. I messed up, guys. I went live at 2 a.m. because of the information that was released, and I messed up. I'm asking you guys, it's been over a year now. Cut me some slack, man. Please. I messed up. I messed up. I mean, how much more do you want from me? Like, we all thought Caicedo was saying. But you know what? For anyone who still brews up Caicedo in 2024, this is my message to you.
Then shut the fuck up in 2024. You sound dumb.
That's my message. That's my message. That's my message. If you still bring up Caicedo in 2024, that's my message to you. That and a Ronaldinho thing, you guys never let me live that down. I thought this was a forgiving community. I thought this was a forgiving fan base. I thought this was a forgiving family. But I see where it is now. I see where we land. And yeah, I'm taking notes of the people that continue to bring me down or try and bring my mood down on a Wednesday as well. Midweek, you're thinking, I'm over the worst of it. Thursday, Friday, weekend, woo. But no, let's bring Cal back to his dark place. I see it. Man. I see it. But nah, all jokes aside, people. Look, what I want to ask you guys, if you can sign 2 players in January, who would they be? And be realistic, guys, because obviously, we can say Kvaratskhelia and all these players. We're not going to sign any of these players in January because I don't think we're going to lose an attacker in January. For me, Hato and Stiller in January would represent perfect business for me. Hato for 30 mil, Stiller for about 40 or maybe 30 alongside Endo going the other way. I think that'd be perfect. Let's see what couple of you guys are saying. Ishan saying Zubimendi and Kirkes. I don't think we sign Kirkes in January unless Tsimikas has said he wants to leave. I don't think we sign Kirkes. I don't think we'd have 3 left backs. I don't see the point in us doing that. Even though Kirkes is an excellent player, I don't see that happening. Brazy Mannem says Shirky and Stiller. I hear the Shirky shout. I hear it. I just think Hato would be better for us in January. Kirkes and Belieber. Marcel saying, again, the Kirkes thing, the same thing. I don't see us signing a left back. I don't see the point. Belieber, I'll be real with everyone. Belieber's good. If you think you're going to get Brighton to sell Belieber in January, you're mad. And if you are going to get Brighton to sell Belieber at all, look upwards of 80, 90 million. Brighton have showed time and time again they are not going to get mugged off for players. Like, if the Caicedo thing didn't teach you anything with Chelsea, you'll learn very quick with Brighton. And rightly so, they deserve to. They're the ones going out, scouting these players, taking the risk on them, building them up to be players that the bigger teams look at. That's how you make your money. Brighton are going to want upwards of 80 to 90 million for Belieber. So if you've got that sort of money, FSG, then yeah, let's do it. But I don't think we have. HDS96 says Zubimendi and Lukeba. I've spoken about Zubimendi. I hear it. Lukeba, I don't see moving. He's just signed a new contract and he's got a release clause which activates in the summer. Shout out to Hooks, who says, just don't sign anyone I want. Do you know what? That's the point, Hooks. While I've got you in the chat, bro, who are the players you want Arsenal to sign? Because I think this is another thing what we don't kind of take into consideration. Who do our rivals want to sign as well? So, Hooks, let me know who you'd sign, bro. Little M4 says Zubi and Kirkes. Baliba and Kirkes says You'll Never Walk Alone. Zubi and Hatto says Lulette, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Hatto and Zubimendi says Trillavision. Football Talk Podcast says Hatto and Edison. Edison's a good shout. What else have we got? Shirkin Baliba says Anila. Kirkes and Stiller. Connor the Red. Gerald says Kirkes and Mamouche. Mamouche is a shout. I don't think Mamouche is a tricky one because Mamouche is a striker who's actually plays more on the right than he does left, even though he's right-footed. Again, I don't see the need for another attacker just yet unless we're going to sell someone. It seems like a lot of you want Kirkes, and Zubimendi and Kirkes seem like the two prominent names. Football 3D says, "Coward, 4 glasses of fermented apple juice before the Kaiser." Do you know what? I wasn't even that. I was on my way to bed. And obviously, without going into the detail, me and the missus were on the sofa, chilling, watching a film. The kids were already sleeping, just about to go to bed, and my phone starts blowing up. And I'm like, I turn to her and I go, I've got to go live. And she's like, are you joking? And I was like, no, Caicedo signing. She looked at me thinking, who the hell is Caicedo? I'm trying to explain Caicedo is the 6 that we need. The next thing you know, I'm in the doghouse because, we're meant to go upstairs and chill and meant to have an evening together. And then the following morning, I wake up. After me and Monts go live, Monts is there barking on camera, saying that we're going to tear up the league. And then following morning, I've got to explain to her we're not signing a player that I sacrificed an evening with. Steve sacrificed an evening with her for. It's a madness. But you guys, it's fun because you guys laugh at this. You guys laugh at my pain. So, Cow's the funny man. You lot laugh at my pain. So you enjoy it. You enjoy it. Hooks is saying Hincapié. Do you guys need another defender, bro? Surely not. Do you? I'm looking. You got Kirill, Gabriel, Calafiori, Tomiyasu. Obviously, not everyone's fit at the moment. But do you genuinely need another defender, bro? I'd have thought that would have been the last thing you'd need. I think you guys need an attacker from the outside looking in. I might be wrong though, Hooks. Oh, there we go. Gyökeres and a left wing /10. Okay, there we go. Gyökeres would make sense. Although I don't think he'd score as many goals for Liverpool, Arsenal, and City as he does for Sporting. A lot of the goals he scores are usually on transition. I don't think he'd get a bag of goals. I think he'd still score goals. I just don't think he'd get a bag of goals. But again, a very good striker. Let's help some of these supers, guys. So Mikey says, big up boys, traded my LFC YouTube membership for a Kopish membership. Big up, appreciate that, man. FSG can hold that. Best LFC channel bar none. Appreciate the kind words. You keep me sane as a Merseysider living in the US. Shout to Pablo. Big up yourself, Mikey. Really appreciate the kind words, bro. Ishan says, what are you thinking about Nico Wiliams news? I think it's a bit of a non-starter, bro. I don't see, unless we're going to sell one or two of our attackers, I don't see us getting an attacker in. Do I think he'd be an upgrade on Diaz and Gakpo? Potentially, yes. Potentially, yes. Even though Diaz is having a way better season, I think he could potentially be an upgrade. And he's younger as well, so there's more. You could argue there's more of a potential there as well. But yeah, he's a good footballer, man. Really good footballer. John Conway, FSG for life. See, that's another one. See, that again, that was in the Caicedo stream. Guys, you have to understand, I was with Drift that day. We went up and did some filming at Chelsea Football Ground with Matisse. And we got stuck in traffic for about an hour and a half in West London. And me and Drift were sitting there in the car, we're speaking about players coming into Liverpool. And Drift was like, I think we're going to get Caicedo. I think we're going to try and get Caicedo. And I was like, Drift, bro, you're usually the most realistic out of all of us here, and you're doing a madness. Why are you trying to like play with my ego here? And he's like, I just have a sneaky feeling. Then it happened. I went live. Obviously, me and FSG have had a very tumultuous relationship. And I thought finally FSG were going to do right by me in Liverpool Football Club. But hey ho, it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. Shout out to the Herbs, man. It's been a while, bro. I hope you're well. Big up Kopish. Don't worry about Caicedo. I'm still getting slack for writing a letter to LFC to sign Charlie Adams. Look how that worked out. Wow. Herbs, man. Not even Batman could have got that information out of me, bro. That is wild. You wrote to Liverpool for Charlie Adams. Oh, I'd have taken that one to the grave, bro. I respect the honesty. That takes some heat off me as well. That is mad. That is mad. Wow. Wow. Gotta hand it to you, man. That is that's dedication, bro. As I said, Batman wouldn't be able to get that information out of me. I rate it. I rate you for being honest on that story, and I rate you for taking some of the heat off me, bro. That you're a good member of this community, bro. Unlike some of you other lot. But no, all jokes aside, people, I'm very interested to see what happens in January. Obviously, the 3 contracts not being signed yet are looming over the club, and I think that's the priority. That needs to happen before we sign any players. But we need to do what we need to do, and hopefully go and get this league title, man. Hopefully, Man United do something today against Arsenal. Herbsman says, just trying to make up, make you feel better. No, I appreciate it, man. You have. I'll pick up the Herbsman, man. But no, yeah, hopefully Man United can get a result of some sort against Arsenal tonight, and hopefully we beat Newcastle and extend the league back at the top. I just want this league title, man. I want the league and Champions League, but this league title is priority. So let's try and capitalize on this lead that we built up, and let's try and write the names into history once again. People, before I sign out, you know what I'm going to ask you to do? I'm going to ask you to like the video and subscribe. I'm also going to ask you to subscribe to Jamie Phillips' channel, who redirected people here. I'm also going to ask you guys to subscribe to Hooks' channel as well, because he's always redirecting his audience here as well. So make sure you subscribe to those 2 channels, please, guys. We are going to be live, as I said, on Big Up at 7:20 for the kickoff at 7:30 between Liverpool and Newcastle. Remember, guys, it's a 7:30 kickoff tonight, not an 8 o'clock or an 8:30 kickoff. It's a 7:30 kickoff. So make sure you join us on Big Up. As soon as that game's finished, we'll be live here on YouTube for the post-match reaction and the player rating show. So people, thank you all for watching. Smash the like video. Look, over 400 of you guys watching right now. Let's get to 300 likes. Let's get to 300 likes before this stream ends. And until I see you again later, people, have a phenomenal Wednesday wherever you are. Stay safe, stay blessed. With Kopish, and we're out, people. Take care. Oh, wait. Hooks, are you going live now? Hold on, got a couple of super chats that just came through as well. Let me know if you're going live now, Hooks, and I'll redirect you, bro. Dean says, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, Vitinha, Benassa, and Matt Prati. Hakan Çalhanoğlu, I don't think we get out in it. He seems to love it, but he's a brilliant footballer. Vitinha, I don't think we get. Quality footballer. Benassa, I don't think we get. And Matt Prati, I don't actually know who that is, so I can't lie to you. People. Hooks is going to be live at 12 p.m. So that is 20 minutes from now, people. Stay here. You'll be redirected to that video. All you have to do, guys, between now and 12 o'clock, go and get yourself a drink. Go and get yourself a little bit of food, make some toast or something, and then go over and watch Hooks' show. I'm going to redirect now. Spare me a sec. Where are we? Bear me a sec, people. Don't want to end the stream until that's sorted. There we go. People, you know what to do. Stay here. You'll be redirected to Hooks' channel. He's doing About a Fan with Izzy Irikian Penn and Leon Knight. So, Izzy, if I've mispronounced your name, deepest apologies. I'm sorry. Apologies. But yes, tune into that show, guys. I did one of those shows with Halftime Hooks, About a Fan. Honestly, one of my most enjoyable streams, just getting to remiss and go that down memory lane. Hooks is a brilliant host as well, makes you feel very, very welcome when you're on his channel as well. So make sure, people, you go over to Hooks' channel, subscribe to his channel, smash the like button as soon as you're over there. People, enough love to you all. Stay safe, stay blessed. With Kopish, and we're out, people. Take care.